I had a whiteboard behind me, right? And I would write a bunch of stuff. I'd write all this stuff down. I'm like, it's a perfect plan. And then that plan would never be executed on. And why did I not get the results I was desiring? Is because I never actually did anything. I am taking you on a journey of revival in my life and the life of others, in hope that your life will be revived in the process. Hey, what's going on, guys? So today is the second episode of the Revival Couple podcast. And today I will be talking to you about how to guarantee success in any area that you are striving to receive success in. And that can be in business. Like for me, it has played a big role in business, and it can also play a big role in relationships. There are a lot of different things that if you do it with this one tip that I have for you, it will create multiple levels of success in multiple places in your life. But real quick, I'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. So many people want to start a business but don't know how. Our mission is to help you discover and live your passion by architecting a profitable business that delivers incredible value to the market and profits to you. Step one is to discover. You're going to work with a coach one-on-one to discover what has held you back until now. You're going to set new goals and explore suitable opportunities to design and finance the lifestyle you want. There's going to be 3 different avenues you can go down. The first one is direct sales and affiliate marketing, where you can get paid $30 to $3,000 per sale in commissions. The second avenue is lead generation for businesses, where you can learn how to start your own agency and deliver targeted leads to hungry businesses. You will get paid $2,500 to $5,000 per month per paying client. And the third thing is to earn 100% passive income. And you can do this by investing into a done-for-you, hands-off e-commerce store managed by us. Step 2 is commit. With the help of your coach, you can choose the path that is most aligned with what you want to do. Step 3 is train. In addition to step-by-step training inside the custom ACE Marketing sales system, you'll get personal mentorship from your sponsor and team leader, Facebook mastermind support groups, multiple live weekly calls, and live events all over the world. Step 4 is to succeed. Phase 1 is to earn revenue. Build a digital business that supplements your current income and gives you breathing room. Phase 2 is growing wealth. Create multiple streams of revenue. Transition to a full-time entrepreneur with security. And phase 3 is investment on investment. Bills paid, debt-free, and your money is making more money while you enjoy time freedom. If this interests you, go to therevivalcouple.com to get started now. You'll need to put in your name and email address to get access to your free web class now. That is therevivalcouple.com to get started now. All right, and so we're back. So today I want to talk to you about how to guarantee success. Now, for me, I started a business. Why did I start a business? I started one because I wanted to provide a better life for my family. I wanted to provide a better quality of life for myself, not just doing something that I had to do, but doing something that I was actually passionate about. And that is why I'm progressing forward to audio engineering, which is something I am super called to do and something that I'm actually really excited to do. But I started a business, and when I started, as you could imagine, as anyone starts a business, it is very challenging. At the beginning, there are a lot of ups, there are a lot of downs, there are a lot of things that happen unexpectedly that you honestly cannot predict, and it just happens, right, as you get into the flow of doing things. And so that's what happened to me. I started a business, but I wasn't getting the results I desired. Now, it was frustrating because from other people seeing my business, they were like, yeah, okay, he's doing something, but like I was so inconsistent with creating things. I would make something one week and then maybe 2-3 weeks later, I would create something else. And now this is just on social media, right? This is just on like Facebook and Instagram. I'd randomly post stuff. I was working at a job, and I still am currently, but working at a job where I can't have my phone on me. But I was so inconsistent that people did not want to follow what I was doing. They didn't want to follow the revival couple movement. They didn't want to follow anything that was happening, because it was like, oh, I don't know when to expect or when we are going to get something new from the revival couple. And so it was just hit or miss. And I think that lack of doing was the biggest thing that kind of stopped the progression of the business in its tracks. So as people were looking at my business, there wasn't really any belief in what was going on, or like that I was going to amount to anything. And the reason why that belief wasn't there was simply because there was no consistency. It was very wishy-washy. The production of stuff that was being put out wasn't the greatest. It was like, okay, it was decent, but it was never anything that was actually good. And so that was frustrating. It was very challenging to have to deal with that on a day in, day out basis, because, I was like, okay, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm looking towards someone else. I'm like, okay, they're doing pretty much the same thing. And so in my mind, I thought I was doing enough. I thought I was good enough at what was happening, right? I didn't think there was any problem. I didn't think there was any issues. I didn't think that anything was like out of the ordinary, because I was doing what everyone else was doing. So the reason why I wanted to be able to be successful was simply because I wanted to, provide a lifestyle that I wasn't able to have myself, which was, be able to live in a place where you can actually do things that you want to do. If my kids want to, pursue music, or they want to go into sports and they need like private lessons or whatever, right? I want to be able to help them get that. I want to be able to allow them to go to college if that's something that they want to do. I honestly just want to be able to provide a better life that I never had myself. And so that was really the big reason why all of this mattered, because ultimately, I could care less if I was just doing it for the money. The money part is only a very small portion. The time aspect, where I can be there actively for my kids. I can be there doing things that aren't going to make me want to not live anymore. You know what I mean? Sometimes people go to jobs, right? And these jobs just add so much stress. They're so unhappy. They pull apart relationships. They pull apart, honestly, the livelihood of many people's lives. And yes, they are getting the money. They are getting the aspect of, finances and dental and healthcare and all this stuff that is needed, right, to take care of kids, right? But it doesn't allow for them to go above and beyond just that. And so the happiness is not really there. It's like, I have to do this because this is all I know. And if I do anything else, it's going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be hard. It's going to be challenging, right? And so I realized that, that was something that I couldn't do. I couldn't just work a traditional job for the rest of my life. I knew that ultimately I was called to do something more. And so I wanted to be able to provide that lifestyle for my family. I wanted to be able to have enough time to do those things that I'm most passionate about. And the only way I can do that is if I have some steady stream of income coming in, and it can't be in a place where I'm trading my time for money. And so I was scared because even though I was creating stuff online, I wasn't getting the results that I needed. I was creating all this stuff and I thought I was doing really, really well, right? I was very full of myself at the beginning. I was like, oh yeah, I got a business, and I'm like trying to go out there and flex on people because it's like, yeah, no, I got a business on my own. But like, if I take a step back and I look and I'm like, but have I made any money? You know what I mean? Like, do I even have anything that could provide me a lifestyle that I'm striving for? And the answer was no. And so I realized that I was spending too much time thinking about doing things, right? And creating things and less time actually executing. I was barely executing, but I would spend all this time preparing to create an ad online, right? Or preparing to do something that could potentially boost my following and boost people to get more sales and in the business aspect of things. And I was just thinking and I was drafting out stuff. I have the whiteboard behind me, but it's flipped around. But anyways, I had a whiteboard behind me, right? And I would write a bunch of stuff. I'd write all this stuff down. I'm like, it's a perfect plan. And then that plan would never be executed on. And why did I not get the results I was desiring? Is because I never actually did anything. So take a moment, think about that. How can you have a successful business if you are not actually executing anything in a consistent manner? That's where I was at. I felt kind of down, a little depressed, a little frustrated because I'm like, I'm tired of my job. I don't want to do that forever. I'm tired of this business thing because I ain't getting nothing, right? All I'm doing is throwing money, just throwing money, throwing more money, and I'm not getting any results. So that's when I dug really, really deep. And I was like, I need to become better. I am not good enough. I realized that I was spending a whole bunch of time thinking about stuff, but I wasn't getting any of the results that I was striving for. I wasn't getting anything that I actually needed to be successful. And so it was very, very hard because I realized no one else is the issue. The people not buying the stuff, they're not the problem. The people not, watching my stuff, they're not the problem. Who's the problem? I'm the problem. I am doing something wrong, but I don't know how to do it right. Where do I go from there? That is the question I was pondering on for such a long time. And I realized that I need to have some type of personal development, consistency of personal development in my life so I can continuously grow, so I can continuously improve. And so I invested into multiple different courses. I had multiple different things that would, allow me to grow, multiple different things that would honestly push me and help me progress in the things that I was doing. So what did I do? I picked up a book. I started reading. I started reading other books. I started purchasing online courses. I started, taking these online challenges, and they were really good. They actually made me learn something and then start doing something else. But I think the biggest point, the point that changed everything in my business and in my life as a whole was when I read this book. And it's by Grant Cardone, but pretty much it talks about how to create things in a massive scale that is going to guarantee success in your business. Now, you're going to guarantee success in your business because if you look at everyone else, they're doing just a bare minimum, an average thing, something that is just barely going to get them going, right? It's barely going to even leave a mark on anything. It's nothing that's going to have you be remembered in the long haul, in the long run, right? It's just going to be something that is done simply to be done because you need to do something in business. But in this book, it talks about doing things 10 times, 10x, right? How can we leave a mark in an industry where people will not forget what you're doing? You have to put in 10 times more work than they are putting in. That is the only way that you can guarantee success, is if you do 10 times more. Now, the issue with that, right, is I started creating things, but when this happened, I was getting a lot of hate. A lot of people were like, hey, man, like, that's cool. You're posting all this stuff, but like, good on you. And I know you're glad and you're excited and you're pumped up and motivated about having something for yourself, but realistically, it's never going to happen. So good luck, and we wish you the best, but we're trying to let you know that this is never going to work. This is never going to happen. Which, in return, it had me question what I was doing. I lost kind of that confidence that I had when I started creating stuff. I was like, yeah, Grant Cardone said I need to go do this, so I'm just going to do it. And then I started doing it, right? Which was it was a good habit to create, right? To actually do something rather than just sitting there thinking about what you could do to map out the best plan ever, the most perfect plan ever, right? When in reality, no plan will ever be perfect. You're going to screw up. How you are able to keep going after you screw up is, the big sign that shows you whether you are good enough or not. And it actually blows my mind. The other day we were watching American Idol, and this one person, he actually started off like not the greatest, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. It was actually pretty decent, right? And then he looked back at the piano player and he was like, no, we need to start this. Can we start this over? We need to start this over. Can we just start this over? And he's like, yeah. And then they started it over, right? But at that moment where he screwed up and he had to start everything over, everyone's attention was already lost. You can't just start over. It's when you have these challenges that come up, you have these problems that come up. How do you deal with them in the moment, right? You can't just say, hey, let's start over, because he started over and he still screwed up. He actually screwed up even more. He froze and he just stopped right at that point because he was so frustrated with himself because he couldn't get it right. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. Why do we expect that it's going to be perfection when in reality it's never going to be perfect? And so when everyone was, having this hate and pushing this hate and saying, oh, you're never going to make it, this isn't going to work, and I wasn't seeing results, right? It really had me lose a lot of confidence. And I was kind of questioning. I was like, is this actually going to work? And then I would think, and I'd be like, I've only been doing this for like a week or 2 weeks or 2 months or 4 months, right? How can I get a fair assessment of, the results when I've only been doing this for such a small amount of time? And so I wanted to keep doing it. And I heard that someone who went through and they made a live video every day for a year, they were able to get a lot better at communicating online. They were a lot better at recording videos. They were a lot better at making content and just doing things consistently. And it kind of created a habit of doing it on a day in, day out basis. Now, not only do the people who are following your page want to keep following it and keep listening in and keep tuning into what you're creating, it gives them kind of like an idea, an expectation that you're going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? So it's a really big thing to be able to keep going and to keep doing. And so I, drew my line in the sand. I was like, I am done with making something every week, every 2 weeks, once in a blue moon, I'm done with that. And I am going to be consistent. And I was like, no matter what anyone else thinks, at the end of the day, they are not going to pay my bills or give me, the time freedom that I am looking for, the time freedom that I am striving for. So since that was happening, I was just very, very motivated to keep going, because no matter what happened, I was not going to let some hater that was potentially worried about my success stop me from going out there and doing something to create the success that I know I needed in my life. this allowed me to, make a commitment and post on Facebook every single day for over a year now, which is absolutely amazing because if you would look back to when this page first started and you watch the first video, you're like, this guy can barely talk. He could barely look into the camera. How is he able to make a video right now? Well, the number one thing that I did was post a video every single day. Were the videos perfect? Heck no, not even close. They were so bad in some of them, but know what I did? I went on my phone and I hit post. I was like, oh, okay, it's not the best one. I could have chose to go and delete it, and I was like, nope, I'm going to post it. So I posted it, and I didn't stop there. I kept going, and I kept creating other things. It's allowed me to not only create a Facebook video every single day, a live stream, right? It's actually helped me become better at public speaking. It helped me improve how to speak to an audience in the best way possible. And so I just want you guys to understand that now I am like super comfortable with jumping on any type of live stream. I'm comfortable with going on YouTube, Facebook, creating a podcast like I am right now. It's allowed me to have that confidence to be able to do this, even if it is not perfect. Now, with creating a podcast, creating a YouTube channel, creating multiple different YouTube series and different things on Facebook, what does this do for my business? This allows me to be omnipresent, right? I can be in multiple different places all at the same time. What is better than that? At first, I started and I wasn't getting any traction. I didn't have anyone even know what I was doing. And the people who did know what I was doing, they had no hope for me because it was not consistent. Now I'm able to have people reach out to me from multiple different platforms, whether that's through Anchor, whether that's through different places that this podcast is released to, whether that is through YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all these different platforms. It allows me to be able to talk to different people in different places. So that is what boosts the followership, but it also has boosted more people wanting to be involved either in the automated Amazon store, like the different videos that I post week in, week out, whether that is, getting involved with creating their own business and being involved in a platform that teaches them step by step how to create something on their own, right? So now we have a calling that is actually going to be accomplished. For me, it's going to be producing music. It's going to be a full-time entrepreneur. It's going to be an active parent into my kids' lives. And it allows so much more due to the fact that I went out there and I did 10 times more work than most people are willing to do. Now, I'm not saying go out there, do things because you want to get. You have to go out there, and when you create stuff, it has to be out of an unselfish place. I'm not going here to have you buy all my stuff, right? Do I have sponsors? Yes, I have sponsors because they actually pay me a portion of income every time there is a sponsored message. But when I create these videos, when I create these podcasts, I do it solely to provide information to you so that you can succeed. If you want to go out there and you want to guarantee success in your relationships, right? Look at what everyone else is doing and do 10 times more. I can guarantee that your wife will not be upset with that, or your husband won't be upset with that. If you go out there and you do 10 times, you put in 10 times more effort, more energy, and you are more committed, right? In anything, you will get the results that you are looking for. It's that compounding effect. If you think about it, when you double a penny every single day, it's not going to be $1 million within the first week, but within 30 days, it's going to be a lot of money. It's actually more money than you would have even thought it would be. Go ahead, do the math, times a penny every single day by itself, it's just going to keep multiplying itself, right? Penny times a penny, 2 pennies times 2 pennies. Just keep doing that for 30 days and you will see how much that compounds. Now, when you put your effort, when you put your energy into creating something and doing it at 10 times volumes, it does not have to be perfect. That's the thing, if you can throw aside trying to be perfect, if you can throw aside thinking everything's going to be the best possible, then you are actually going to be able to start creating things. When you start creating things, you're going to start getting followings. When people start following you, it's going to be hard for them not to purchase something from you. When people trust you, they will want to be your lifelong customer. That is something that you cannot disregard in any means. So since I was able to see how much taking massive amounts of actions was able to increase not only my results, but other people's results, that's actually how I came into doing it myself, right? I wanted to share all of this information with you. Honestly, if I would not have found this, if I would have not looked at doing personal development for myself to understand that no one else is the problem, I am the problem. The only thing that is the problem is me. The only reason why I'm not getting the results I need to get to be able to live the life that I feel called to live is because of me. And so it is very important that we can all understand that we have some type of play into everything that happens in our lives. I think if we can stop looking at everyone else and what they're doing, right, and saying, oh, that's what I need to do, but rather look at what they're doing and say, I will do 10 times more than what they are doing, then and only then will we get the results that we desire. I honestly believe that. I know that no matter what happens, my goals, my dreams, my visions are not going to look like those of the people around me. And yours aren't either. I think we need to wise up and kind of understand that we are all unique people. We all have unique goals and visions. We all have unique dreams. So why are we comparing what we have to what other people have? Okay? I'm not saying when you look at someone and be like, oh, they got a 2-story house, I'm going to get a 10-story house, you know what I mean? Or a 20-story. I'm not saying 10 times it like that. I'm saying do the amount of action that it takes to be known. Because when you are competing against other brands, other companies that are well known, it's going to take so much more energy, so much more effort for your name to be known and to be recognized. If you want to be like the Kellogg's of cereals, or what, the Gatorade of sports drinks, if you want to be the Nikes of the shoe industry, right? You have to have your name and your brand known. The only way that your brand name can be known is if you have intense, insane amounts of action that you do every single day. There has to be time that you have to recoup, that you have to recover, that you have to, allow yourself to take a little break, right? But that's going to happen organically, right? You can't just go without sleeping, right? You can't do these things without taking a break in some way, some form. But having a plan and being willing to bust your butt, literally work hard and do it not because you want to just make a bunch of money, because money does not buy you happiness, but you want to do it because you feel called to do a specific thing in your life that is going to bring more happiness to you and to your family. And so that your life doesn't have to be a place where you're sitting down at your job in prison, pretty much in that cubicle area. If you're working in a cubicle, looking at pictures of your family, and you're like looking at all these good memories of what you could be doing when you're not in work, right? That is why it is so important to understand that what you do, the actions you take, and the amount of action that you take will ultimately guarantee the success that you are striving for in your life. Guys, I hope this helps. If you liked this podcast, definitely, drop a like down below or share it with someone. If you share it with someone else, it will make me smile as I am right now. As always, guys, let's go out there. Let's revive our lives together. Let's get it done. And until the next podcast episode, have a good one.